I wanted to bring up something else that came to mind the other night while I was standing there at work, because I had these three young gentlemen walk in, and I say young, I say they were probably 17 to 19, maybe a little younger, like, 16, 17, in those age ranges. And these guys, I'm 40 years old. I'm about 5'10", 270, 280, so I'm a big guy. These guys all towered over me. You could tell that they were really young, though. They were acting young, joking around, just being kids, doing what kids do. And it's, midnight, 1 in the morning. And the biggest of the three, this real tall fella, he's like 6'3", 6'4", maybe 280, 290, 300 pounds, big guy, got curly hair, like a little preppy looking guy. I say he's huge. I don't mean little as in that. He's just, he acts like a child. They were grabbing up stuff and hey, look at this, and, throwing it back and forth and acting like children. So I'm over there putting stuff on shelves. I'm stocking. We've got crates that are sitting all over the place. These boxes that we get that are full of inventory, and we have to put it out. You can tell I'm not, my chipper self with the energy, and it's midnight. It's after 1. I'm tired, and this was like my last night of the week. So this is like after I've been working for several days. So I'm exhausted. And the guy grabs up one of these little squeeze balls that we have that are like Jurassic Park merchandise to promote the movie, and he picks it up and he looks at me. He goes, "Hey man, buy this for me." And I'm thinking, like, at first I thought, okay, he's talking to one of his buddies. And then I look, and he's looking dead in my eyes, like he's looking face to face with me. Cause I'm standing down the aisle from him on the same aisle, but I'm putting up snacks, and he's down at the on this end cap, looking at these toys. And I looked at him, and I'm like, it just took me back for a moment, because I'm thinking, okay, this kid he's probably old enough to, like, he's probably a legal adult. He's probably 18. He might be 16, 17, but either way, he's old enough to drive. He's in high school, at least, bare minimum. So, and I look at him and I said, dude, I got 3 children that I take care of. I'm not buying you anything. He goes, come on, man, it's only $1. Like, and he's not joking. He's dead serious. Like, how dare you not buy this for me? It's only $1. It's that cheap. I said, dude, $1 may not be much to you, but like $1 is a lot to somebody in my shoes. I said, no, man, I'm not buying you anything. I was like, if you want it, you got to buy it. I'm not doing that for you. I'm like, you must not be serious. You must be joking. And I literally said, you must be joking. He goes, no, man, serious. He's like, you won't even buy me something for $1? And I'm like, I looked at him, I said, dude, are you dead serious? He goes, all right, man, my bad. And he sits it down. I said, dude, just get out of here. Like, and then he looks at me and makes like this little smirk. He goes, oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And then I realized the dude's trolling me or messing around. But it's like, man, these kids these days, like, that's all you've got to do is bother somebody at work or at like a little prick, say, hey, buy me something. And like I said, the dude, if I would have been like, hey, okay, I'll buy it for you, like, the dude would have walked out of there with that little toy. And like, it wasn't a joke, it wasn't a ploy, and that wasn't a troll. But by the end, it's like, how do I play this off, I guess, or how do I, make myself not look like I was, just trolling or whatever. But it's like, dude, get the fuck. And even his buddies, the 2 guys that are with him, I will say this, these other guys were his age. In fact, they looked a little bit younger than this guy. He was the oldest looking one out of the 3. They were like, come on, man, quit acting stupid, and this, like, so they knew he was acting, being a dumbass. But it's just ridiculous. Hey, everybody, how you doing? Handsome. Welcome to the little stream that I've got. I'm about done with my story here, but also there's one other thing that, and I mentioned this on the last little video that I made about people's hygiene and you know, coming into the store, and I can smell them when they walk in the door, and I'm 20, 25 feet away, like stuff like that. Okay. And I mentioned about people that come in and they're driving a vehicle, so they're not homeless. They're not living out of the vehicle. I've known people who were living in their cars. I know what a vehicle looks like when you're living out of it. I've slept in my car a few times. I never lived in it, but I've had to sleep in the car. But your car is clean and spotless on the inside. You're not living in it. You're not sleeping in it at night if you don't have clothes in there and stuff like that, right? So people will pull up and come in, and so if they've got a vehicle, they've probably got a place to live, or they've got somebody to live with. So they've got a place that they can clean up. Or like I said, go into a store and use the sink. Use the facilities at you can go to Walmart, grab some paper towels, you know, buy a $1 rag at Dollar General or Dollar Tree, get a thing of rags for $1 or 50 cents. Go in there and wash your ass, wash on your arms, wash your face, do what you need to do to keep yourself clean. Like I saw all these comments on some videos the other day, like where these people just have absolute no hygiene and all, and everybody that was commenting that was like, hey, I've been homeless before, was like, I kept myself clean. Like that's important to keep yourself clean. Like you can still have good hygiene and be homeless or be out on the street or whatever, but like I said, these people are not homeless, so there's not really an excuse. But this couple came in the other night, short, tiny little white girl, tall, big old black dude. And I'm not saying that has anything to do with it, but I'm just describing what this couple looked like, right? They're both dressed really nice. They both have like brand new hoodies on. The guy had a brand new hoodie, brand new tennis shoes looking like they're clean, they're spotless. Pants are spotless looking. And so like as they come in the door, it's like, okay, just another couple. And then when the dude comes up to the counter, at first I'm thinking, oh, okay, this is another one of those couples. Because all I can smell is urine. And I'm not talking about like the faint hint of urine. I'm talking about overwhelming, like he has pissed himself time and time and time again, laid in it, let it dry, pissed all over himself again, let that dry, and just continually done it, not changed in a month, right? It's that bad. So he walks off, and his girlfriend is looking at like the snacks and stuff. So I spray some of this air freshener that I keep sitting by the register because I don't like smelling stuff like that. It's just nauseating. And I spray a little bit. So the girl comes back up there, and she's asking, do we have something? It was like pickle chips or whatever. And so you can tell if somebody doesn't smell bad because they don't smell bad. So she's standing up there. I go around and I show her where the pickle chips are. I'm standing right beside her. She doesn't smell or anything like that. And then we walk by, the guy starts walking by as I'm going back to the counter, and he's coming back from the drink machine where we have the soda fountain. And the dude, like, it almost made me gag. It was so bad, y'all. Like, he literally, that urine smell just overcame me. And I'm thinking, okay, how is it? And like, she was all over him. Like, when they came up to the counter to finally check out, they're putting their stuff up there. He's standing there about to pay. She puts her arms around this dude, and I'm thinking, do you not smell the piss that I'm smelling walking around this dude? How can you? And you see, that's one of these things that I've finally put together, put two and two together, that, you know, the reason these people continuously and will not get clean, or they won't go and decide, hey, I'm going to take better care of myself, not just for myself, but for the people around me, is because nobody confronts them. Nobody says, hey, you smell bad. You don't need to go out the door smelling like that. You need to go in there, get a bath. You need to put your clothes in the washing machine, and you need to get clean. Like, don't go out of this house smelling like that, or don't go, like, so nobody has confronted them. And it starts with, yeah, parents, but a lot of these people, and I'm not saying these people as in like any demographic, I'm just saying the people that I'm discussing as far as the ones who don't have good hygiene. Some of them may not have been raised by their parents. They may have been raised by an aunt, uncle, a cousin, whoever. you know, I've lived with my grandparents for a while. I've lived with friends for a while, so you know, I'm no different than anybody else. But I'm just saying, whoever was in their life that was responsible for saying, "Here's how you take care of yourself," did not tell them. And then after that, there was no positive or negative reinforcement to say, "Hey, okay, either you're not clean enough or you need to get clean," afterwards. Like friends, teachers, and nobody's doing these people a favor. Like, nobody ever did me a favor by not telling me the truth. And that's one of the things that I used to get so mad about, and why I've been angry at people in the past, and even not recently, but for lying to me, is because when somebody lies to you, if they truly care about your well-being, they will not lie to you, whether it hurts or not. And if it hurts, then they should care enough about you to let you feel that hurt and that pain, and whatever negative consequences come with your actions or choices you made, so that you don't repeat them. So that you think he peed his pants a bunch of times, or just trying to paint a picture. No, I literally think he pissed his pants a bunch of times like that. No, I mean, the way that he smelled, it was straight up, you could tell the clothes he was wearing, or his body, or both, had urine on them. There is no possible way that you can smell like that and not have urinated on yourself. That's just like the people that come in and their breath is so bad that you have to back up when they open their mouth to speak to you. And like some of these people are like beautiful women, nice dressed guys that are dressed to the nines. They've got nice clothes on, nice shoes. They look sharp. They smell good. They've got cologne on or body spray or whatever. Like and then as soon as they open their mouth, it's like, whoa. Like, whoa. Like, and I understand people have medical conditions. Don't get me wrong. I've got some medical issues that cause certain problems and symptoms that I have to pay a lot of attention to, or I could be like one of these people going out and offending somebody with my hygiene because I don't take care of myself. But I choose to, as soon as one of these issues happen, to address it, to make sure, okay, I need to clean whatever I need to clean. I need to do whatever I need to do to fix this issue, this symptom, even though it's a symptom of a bigger problem. Like, there's no excuse to me. And especially these people that are younger than me. I'm 40 years old. I mean, I've got children and I've got these health issues, but I also take care of my kids. I take care of the house. I work, so, I take care of the responsibilities as best as I can. But these people that are like young and they have energy and they're healthy and they don't have health issues, or they're not taking care of children, all that stuff, all they have to do is take care of themselves. When you're at that age, now granted, some people don't have a great home life. Some people don't have a peaceful home life or a stable home life. I get it. Some people go back and forth, but hey, even if you're going back and forth between place and place, you're going back and forth between place and place. Use the sink, use the facilities, use the washing machine. If somebody won't let you, I understand there's issues like that, but I'm talking about the people that come in that you know good and well, looking at them and talking to them, there's nothing wrong with them. They're joking, they're laughing, they're talking normal. There's nothing wrong with them not being able to know what's going on. There's no, I mean, they come joking around, talking about going out and partying and doing this and that. Okay, you can go out and do all that stuff. You can keep yourself clean and in check. Like, you can take care of yourself, at least bare minimum, enough so that you don't offend the people around you. But then again, we go back to, it's probably the people around some of these folks that smell like this and that have these issues that are encouraging and reinforcing. If they're not encouraging, they are enabling by not saying anything, by allowing them to do that. And, like, I know what somebody smells like if they haven't taken a bath in a while. I lived with my 80-something-year-old grandfather, He grew up in the 30s, and he told me, he said, when I was a kid, we would take a bath like once a month, maybe once every couple weeks. But he's like, now we would take bird baths, you know, get a rag and wipe off and stuff like that if we got real dirty. He said, but like an actual bath with hot water in the tub, stuff like that, like that didn't start till I was an adult and had my own place. And so if you're raised like that, that's one thing. These people are not. These are modern, you know, thing, bathing once a month during the 80s and 90s. You know what I'm saying? So anyhow, but that's just my take on it. You know, it's just an opinion. But hope everybody has a good day. Love y'all, and